and welcome to Heat D of MiniBeasts in the East, MicroBeasts. We are back in the box tonight with a smaller field, but don't you worry, they are just as powerful. Let's meet our teams for tonight's show. 4 bots enter the box tonight. Megan the Flipper, Tyrant the Flipper, Ferris Wheel the Vertical Spinner, and Elevron the Grab Lift. We shall see how well these 4 get on. But first of all, with less robots, it's time for an impromptu format swap. Tonight we'll see our competitors in a round-robin format, each fighting each other once, earning points as they go until we have a winner. Of course, points are 5 for a KO win, 4 for a JD win, 2 for a JD loss, and 1 for a KO loss, as it has been all series, and we will track the progress of our competitors through the leaderboard as the night progresses. Without further ado then, let's introduce fight number 1. Entering the box first is Connor Lois with Tyrant. This lifter is powered by loom bands and hope. It is so very tired. They are up against Elevron. Grab a lifter. This has great forks, but its lifter mechanism can be a bit fragile. It was assembled by a 9-year-old.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go then. Around the box goes Elevron. Tyrant trying to push, but has managed to push itself under the sidewall, freeing itself now, getting away. It is not moving particularly quickly, and now Elevron gets stuck under the wall. Lads, we're fighting each other here, not the wall. As we hear poor Tyrant just clonking into every wall that's around, now getting a little lift on Elevron. Elevron with the lifter up, now with a push, could have gone down the pit there, Tyrant, but just escaping danger, and every now and again there's just a little thud noise into the sidewall. That is Tyrant crying for help. Elevron now driving into the wall. Not a whole lot of control in this battle, I have to say. There's a bit. Elevron with the forks coming in under Tyrant, and a push across the arena into the sidewall. A little tour of the box. Just a mini break, I think we can call it safely. Elevron hanging back, seeing if Tyrant can move. They can. Movement is movement, so they are going to let the fight continue, even though Tyrant is almost dead on its feet, or dead on its wheels as it might be. Now, waving, flapping aggressively. I'm not sure that's actually doing anything. Under Elevron there, they're going to need to be careful of that, but now there's not much movement from Tyrant. They're wafting, but they aren't moving, and the count out has started for them. Elevron, they're just going to leave them there, I think. Probably a sensible idea. Elevron, they are going to surely win this. Tyrant, they're not moving. It's all over. A little helpful hand there, but yes, that's the fight. Well, not a whole lot to write home about here. Tyrant got stuck under a sidewall, got stuck under Elevron, got stuck on the forks, got stuck in the groove, got stuck just about everywhere, and eventually that was their end. They managed to get stuck still and counted out. Our next 2 combatants, Ferris Wheel, the biggest vertical spinner in tonight's competition at least. Jordan brings this awesome weapon, whose weakness is also its awesome weapon. We'll see how that works. Meanwhile, Dan reads Megan. This flipper is a former champion of MiniBeasts in the East, winning the Ant event in 2024. Let's see how they get on tonight.
3, 2, 1.
Across the box, Megan very quickly, but straight into the spinner of Ferris Wheel, who turns around now, and now Megan's underneath with a great flip, and Ferris Wheel flying all over the place. Now just catching an edge there. Megan needs to be careful of that vertical spinner. You can see chunks are coming off of them. There's a whole lip there that I'm sure Ferris Wheel will take advantage of. The flipper is being flung all around the arena here by Ferris Wheel. Awesome gyro on that bot. Huge disc. They haven't got a lot of control over turning. It takes a long time. It's like a boat. Megan trying to find the angle. They do so and get under Ferris Wheel there. A good little flick into the wall. There was another as they go flying across the arena and out of it. And Megan is the winner. Well, Megan were in a very tight spot early doors in this fight. Managed to get a good flick on Ferris Wheel. That could have been disastrous for them. They were right by the open pit. Megan did not capitalise though, and then Ferris wheel caught an edge on that flipper several times more. But here's the comeback tour. Ferris wheel, one little flick there, a second into the wall, a third over across the box, and the fourth finally sending them over and out. Here's the leaderboard. Megan and Elevron top the table on 5 points apiece. Tyrant and Ferris wheel on 1 point after a KO loss. They sit at the bottom. We are going to see those two fight next though. So Tyrant, what have they done to try and fix the bot? More loom bands, I hear. It is very much a hand-me-down bot, this one, and it is on its last legs. They are going to need to drive very cautiously here as Ferris wheel's giant vertical spinner comes back into play. Let's see what happens when these two meet in the box.
3, 2, 1. Commemorate.
We could well see a commemoration here. Ferris wheel across the box, straight into Tyrant's face. He loses the entire flipper arm. Goodness me. And Tyrant runs away into the pit. Well, a little bit of cowardice never hurts anyone. This wheel, though, square in the face. Ferris wheel takes out the flipper of Tyrant. And then to save a little more damage there, Tyrant still has one more fight to go. Well, after that brutal display, Elevron returns to the box now to face off against Megan. We saw the forks come into play. They're going to want to get them in again here against Megan, but perhaps a little bit more weapon usage. Megan, meanwhile, they have repaired the damage from their last fight. Let's see if they can get in and under Elevron.
Ready, 3, 2, 1, activate.
Megan very quick out of the starting gates and straight in under Elevron. Could have been over and out very quickly there, right next to the pit. Elevron can't self-right here. They have now done with help from Megan, flipping them back over, but now flipping them back onto their wheels. This is so fast-paced. I'm struggling to keep up with all the flips. Elevron back upside down once again. The weapon can't quite self-right them. The drive can, though. We just saw that there. They're going to need to try and get the forks into play here. Otherwise, Megan is just going to win every engagement, and that's a good push. Didn't quite get down the pit, and Megan back in underneath the forks once again. And out they go. Great flip from Megan. Well, Megan was in control of the fight very much all the way through, other than one moment, which we will see in just a moment, but Megan managed to get all the flips in early doors. Then here's the push from Elevron. Almost had them on a trajectory to head down the pit, but Megan drives out of it, gets back under the forks, and then flips Elevron over and out. Here's the leaderboard. Megan tops the table on a perfect 10 so far. Elevron with 6 after that KO loss. They're now joint with Ferris wheel, yet to fight each other. That fight is coming up shortly. Tyrant on 2. They're back in the box now against top of the table, Megan. Connor, what can you do here with Tyrant, I wonder? So far, you've had your flipper removed and you've had your wheel stop working. That is almost all of the robot. He's been back in the pits trying to fix that bot. Megan, meanwhile, is on fine form, looking to flip Tyrant out of the arena, just like their previous two combatants.
3, 2, 1, begin.
Here we go. Megan out of the gates quickly, gets under Tyrant, but didn't quite manage to get the flip in. And again there, you can see a loom band has come off already. Tyrant needs them to be able to, well, drive. There we see a flip, but Tyrant still remaining on their wheels. I believe the weapon is now taped on. There doesn't seem to be much life out of it, and out goes Tyrant into the pit. It was written in the stars, I think, and those stars were all over the front panel of Megan. Tyrant, they didn't really have anything left in the tank. It was curtains for them once the loom band started coming off. Our final battle tonight sees Ferris wheel return to the arena against its own cousin in Elevron. These two, very similar design strategies. The forks, very similar as well. We shall see which of them manages to get the engagement and take the win. Will it be Elevron? Will it be Ferris wheel? This decides who comes second in the heat.
Ready? No, but yes. Yeah, good enough. Right, 3, 2, 1, begin.
Here we go, Ferris wheel very cagey out of the box, as was Elevron. But it is Elevron who is underneath to start with, and the spinner spinning down here, you can see and hear that spinner revving up and revving down. When they can't get the good hits in, I think they're revving down just to save themselves gyroing over. Anything to stop Elevron getting good engagement, or trying to anyway. The forks sort of jousting for position. Elevron gets the good one though here, gets round behind poor old Ferris wheel, who ended up in a sidewall there, but now a good push back and into the sidewall. Could have seen Elevron go flying, didn't. I wonder if they're struggling for engagement. There has been no weapon engagement there from the big disc of Ferris wheel. Elevron just holding them at an arm's length like a bully. Let's say that, like a bully. There's a good pop from Ferris wheel. Manages to get round the side and just get the weapon into play. But only one there. Didn't send them too far. Elevron still in this, and there you can see the gyro now getting some weapon hits. Ferris wheel managed to get into the side of Elevron and managed to get the weapon very briefly there. Another good pin from them. Elevron now back in underneath. Very back and forth this one. Ferris wheel spinner not managing to get the big hits in though. Elevron controlling the pace of the battle, just holding them in place against the sidewalls. Now away again. Back into locking forks. Elevron in underneath. You can hear Ferris wheel trying to escape by revving up and down. That spinner, it's just not working for them. The pin had to be let go there. Elevron coming in for a pin now. That weapon not really engaging. Good pushback from Elevron though. Ferris wheel turning, trying to find the angle. Great back and forth this one. We're coming down to time here. Almost at the 2-minute mark. Good push though from Elevron. What on earth happened there? I've just heard it is a judge's decision. The fight came to an end just before the two robots hit the bottom of the pit. Had they not though, what on earth could have happened? Elevron managed to control most of the pace of the battle, but the big hits from the weapon cannot be overlooked. There was not a lot of weapon effectiveness from Elevron here. What will the audience say? Here's the end of the battle. Here is where cease was called, and it could have gone against Elevron. The judge's decision is in, and it does go in their favour. Elevron takes the control and wins. And with that, the points are like this. Megan with a perfect 15 tops the heat. Elevron in second on 10. Ferris wheel just missing out on 8. And Tyrant, poor Tyrant, down the bottom on 3. And that just about does it for tonight. Our top 8 robots will make it through to the bracket next time. We hope you'll join us for that. Until then, thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, do subscribe, and we'll see you again.